It's January, that means transfer review is back. That means I have to come out here and stand outside Old Trafford in January while it's well cold to talk about all the bollocks that we're going to find in the newspapers. That's what we're about to do right now. First one that we are going to talk about is Griezmann. No, you've not just clicked on a video from June. This is what we are talking about right now. It's in The Guardian, it's also in The Sun, it's also everywhere. They're talking about he wants 400 grand a week in some papers. In some papers they're saying we're going to offer him 400 grand a week. Either way, they're saying that Griezmann might be a possibility. United might pay that release fee and get him because Barcelona are sniffing. That's what they say in one paper. In another paper they also say his release fee in January is going to be 177 million, but it reverts back to 86.6 or something like that in the summer. I can't see United paying more than double what his release fee is right now. I think we'd probably wait till the summer, so I don't think that Griezmann is going to be coming in January. But if Barcelona are sniffing, and who's financing Barcelona, by the way, after what they've just spent on Coutinho, if Barcelona are sniffing and we need to go in there and get him done, I think we should go in there and get him done because he undoubtedly improves Manchester United. Do I think it's going to happen in January though? 2 out of 10, I don't think so. Also in the same report there from Sky is that Alexandro from Juventus is going to be a Manchester United target, and they're saying that Chelsea have pulled out of the race, leaving only Manchester United in the mixer. Not 100% sure why Chelsea are in the mix there. I thought it was quite stacked in that sort of left-back position. But either way, it's a player that I think definitely improves Manchester United. I'm not sure why a left-back is still our sole focus. I'm not sure if some of the newspapers are thinking of, I don't know, maybe leaks that they got 5-6 weeks ago when Luke Shaw wasn't in the form that he's currently in. Or maybe Jose still wants one. But I think that this is a player that probably does come in and bolster something because, let's face it, if Luke Shaw gets injured, and that's pretty likely, isn't it, at the end of the day, then we are back to square one with not really having a left back. So I think that this is someone who improves us. It looks like he's out of favour at Juventus. It'd be an easy win. Probably wouldn't be after that much sort of cash. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I don't think it's likely. I'm going to say 3 out of 10. Lucas Moura. It's not 2012 again either. Like, this is a kid that now can't get a game at Paris. Admittedly, they've got a decent attack. He's only had half a dozen cameos off the bench this season. Can't get a start. He's started since he's gone to France, and let's face it, we know exactly how easy it is to score in France, looking at what Zlatan did prior to coming here. He's only got like 40 goals or something like that, I think, in over 200 appearances. Not that impressive for France, really, is it? For someone that should be tearing it up. He didn't want to come in 2012, so as far as I'm concerned, I don't want you now. The headline out there saying is that he's willing to snub all other offers to come to Manchester United. Well, you should have thought about that 5 years ago, shouldn't you? Now you're not going to come. Sling it. Is he going to come? 2 out of 10. Bullshit peddlers extraordinaire and Manchester Evening News have decided that Gareth Bale scoring 2 goals for the club that pays him and employs him is a transfer message for Manchester United to come and get him. I'm not even kidding. That's literally what they've made an article on. It's 0 out of 10. It's utter bollocks. It's the MEN. Of course it is. The general feeling in this transfer window, for me at least, I'm not sure what it's like for you guys, is that the newspapers either don't know or haven't quite narrowed down who United's targets are this window. So we're seeing a lot of names flung out all over the place. Prime example, David Luiz being one of them. Now, if I had to say to you guys sitting there watching at home, what do Manchester United not need? Goalkeeper. We don't need a goalkeeper. We're pretty sound on goalkeepers, aren't we? Wild, unhinged centre-halves is probably next on that list, isn't it? David Luiz fits that bill. Can you imagine Rojo and David Luiz lining up in a... We'd be playing 9-a-side inside the first 15 minutes. No, we're not signing David Luiz. As much as Jose Mourinho may or may not like him, he's going to go for an extortionate amount of money. He's not worth it. We've got 27 centre-halves. Forget about it. 0 out of 10. No. Here's where it goes weird. So, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm looking for transfer news, I like to have a look at the BBC, I look at The Guardian, I look at journalists that I trust, Sports Witness, get their take on it if it's a European-based transfer. I'm not sure where down the list the Plymouth Herald comes, but it's low. And I don't know why they're getting in the mix. I have no idea why the Plymouth Herald was getting in the mix, but the Plymouth Herald have decided to get in the mix and tell you guys who they think Manchester United are signing. All right. And on that list is Fred, the guy with the worst Brazilian name ever. Currently at Shakhtar Donetsk, going to be on a free transfer. Let's link him to Manchester United. That's literally the thought process that went into that. We're not signing Fred. 0 out of 10. Another one by the MEN, and this one's saying United are preparing a big transfer for Ozil. Ozil who's out of contract in 5 months. They're saying that we're going to pay 35 million for him. Right, hang on, let's just back up a minute here. Jose Mourinho's complaining about lack of funds and needing to be backed big in the transfer market. Makes a lot of sense. If Ed Woodward's being tight with the cash, Ed Woodward is not going to sit there and be like, yeah, why don't you have 35 million for a guy that we can get for absolutely nothing in about 5 months? That's not going to happen. There's no way that's going to happen. Now, United and Arsenal might come to an arrangement on 5, 10 million maybe, something along those lines. Some sort of nominal fee for the remainder of this season. But there's no way Manchester United are going to put a sizable transfer fee, because that's what 35 million represents, doesn't it? It represents an international footballer. That's what we've got Bailly for. That's what we've got Lindelof for. We're not going to pay that for, what's Ozil, 27, 28, 29, something along those lines? We're not going to pay that for a guy with 5 months left on his contract. That is not going to go down like that. Now, that's not me saying that he's not going to come in January. That's just me saying it's not going to go down the way that these clowns at the MEN think it's going to happen. So I'm going to say Ozil to Manchester United. I'm giving a 5 or 6 out of 10, even for this window. Not for 35 million though, that gets a big fat 0. Here's a really interesting one, and here's a player that, once it seemed like United couldn't really go for Griezmann, was the next sort of suitable player in that kind of mould, and that's Dybala of Juventus. Juventus have sort of had a bit of a falling out, or Allegri and Dybala have had a bit of a falling out, it seems, and Allegri's come out and said quite a lot in the press, and one of the things that he said, I think might have been misinterpreted just a little bit. He says that he couldn't play as a number 9 for a big club, and you're like, hang on, aren't Juventus a big club? Aren't Juventus the biggest club in Italy? Aren't Juventus one of the biggest clubs in Europe? I'm not 100% sure what he's really going on about there. He does say that he performs better further back than out and out number 9, and I think that kind of makes a little bit of sense. So that's why I think something's been lost in translation that we're not quite getting, because if it goes word for word, it doesn't really make a lot of sense for me in what he's saying there. Dybala and Griezmann, I think, are very much in the same mould, and if you can get him for the sort of money he was going to get Griezmann, and Griezmann isn't on the table, then that makes a lot of sense to me. Is it going to happen? Juventus are a selling club. We know that already after what happened with Pogba. So I think you can always get a player out of Juventus, and they've just entered the race for Ozil. They love a free transfer, so maybe we should keep an eye on that. Maybe there's a play to be made there, actually. Maybe we say, why don't we just let you have Ozil and we give you like 90 million for this fella? Deal? That could happen. Is it going to happen in January? Because that's what we're talking about. I don't think so. I don't think so. So I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10 for Dybala. Right, Malcom's a name that has sort of appeared over the last couple of months, and it's a sort of level of transfer that makes me think that that's the kind of player United are going for. It's not the sexiest name, it's not Ronaldo, it's not Bale, it's not Messi, it's not just someone that you think United are linking to because it's going to get clicks. He's a good player. Is he of United standard? We don't know yet. He could be someone in the sort of Marshall mould where he's one for the future, doing very well in France, might need a little bit of adaptation to come to England and really smash it, but definitely a good player, definitely somebody Manchester United could get and could attract. Now, he's been doing a bit of dick teasing on the old Instagram, and if you're into your Instagram transfers, Gaz got so triggered last season that he made a whole video on it. We'll throw that link up here somewhere, go check that out. He's learning English. Now, I personally don't think that needs writing articles about, but some people decide that that's worthy of writing articles about. He's put on his Instagram stories about his English lessons that he's been having. Does that mean he's coming to United? No, it means he's learning English. Does that mean he's going to move in the transfer window? No, it means he's learning English. Does it mean he's going to sign for Arsenal? No, it means he's learning English. English is one of the most widespread languages spoken in the world of football, regardless of what country you're in or you're from. He's just learning English. So can we just let the lad learn English? I mean, Antonio Valencia's been here like 75 years and still hasn't learned English, so doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean a transfer's on the cards or anything, does it? He's learning English. Relax. Next we're going to talk about is Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt's got a trial with Dortmund in March. He's come out and said that after his trial with Dortmund in March, he's going to decide what he does with his career. At first I thought he was trolling us. I'm not sure if he's trolling us no more. I don't know what the crack is. Obviously he's a big United fan. He's spoke loads of times about wanting to come and play for Manchester United, like we all do. He's just a fan, like all of us. But he's a really, really famous fan who's got some wonderful physical attributes. I'm really intrigued to see what happens with Dortmund. Is he signing for United? I don't think so. He'd be unavailable on a free transfer. 31 seems a bit late to be getting into a career in football, but do you know what? fair play to him. If he's got the ability to go and do it, even just to get a trial at this age is amazing. So fair play, Usain Bolt. I hope to see you turn out here one day, maybe. That was the ins, this is the outs, and I think the outs have probably got a little bit more weight behind them than any of the ins have got, because some of them are quite obvious, aren't they? Now, Marouane Fellaini was heavily linked to a move away from Manchester United last January transfer window. It didn't materialise, and then Jose Mourinho come out and said that he loved him. It appears that Manchester United have offered, I mean, this is crazy. United have offered him 125k a week, and he wants 150k a week. Straight face, which is insane. The fact that United have offered him 125 grand a week is insane. However, Paris Saint-Germain, currently becoming one of the biggest clubs in the world, as Mr. Eric Cantona said, they've got money, it makes them a big club, are interested in Marouane Fellaini. Now, if you saw the goal that they scored this week, which was an almost perfect footballing goal, honestly, it was a sort of sweaty move that you see on FIFA from people pulling. You can see why they need Marouane Fellaini, can't you? There feels like there's too much in this for this not to be real. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. What if Fellaini wins the European Cup before we do? Mkhitaryan. All of us thought Mkhitaryan was pretty much gone after that rumour of an argument with Jose Mourinho surfaced, and he then vanished from the team instantly. He has come back into the team in recent weeks, but he's not exactly shone when he's done it. He was substituted at half-time in the Derby game, which made a lot of people certain that Mkhitaryan is absolutely definitely gone. But then Jose mentioned it in his press conference afterwards, and he said he apologised to the player. Not sort of thing that you would do if that's someone that's definitely going in January. Mkhitaryan's a weird one. He doesn't feel like he's settled in England. It doesn't feel like him and Mourinho have got the strongest relationship, despite the fact that his stats are pretty good and he's actually put in some very good performances, just not consistently for us. I don't know what's going to happen with this one. It does seem like there's a lot of talk with him going to Italy. Inter seems to be a forerunner. They seem to be talking about him all the time, wanting him on loan. Can't really raise the money for a transfer fee. Well, I see a solution to a problem that's going there. If United and Mourinho still want Perisic and they want Mkhitaryan, there's always a deal to be made, isn't there? Can I see Mkhitaryan leaving this window? I can, but I'm not certain of it. So I'm going to say a 4 out of 10. Football Italia, talking up Italian footballer and an Italian team. Damian to Inter is what they're saying. They also mentioned the Emre Can. That's kind of happened already. So Damian is the one still on the radar for them. Now, I think it's pretty obvious Mourinho doesn't trust him, doesn't rate him, and probably wouldn't miss him if he was gone, considering that he trusts wingers, centre-halves and anybody else at full-back instead of Damian. That's left or right full-back where he can do a job at either. So he will have almost completed in getting rid of all the Louis van Gaal players if he can get rid of Damian. So I think it's probably one that he's going to want to do. Juventus seems like a good fit. Maybe there's a deal to be made there with Alexandro coming the other way for us. Damian leaving Manchester United in January. Not certain of it, but it feels pretty strong. 7 out of 10. Right then, that is it for today. If you still want to send us the United on YouTube videos, then you can do. Talk about transfers, talk about the latest match, anything like that. Send them us and we'll bang them in this video. They are always welcome. And if you're still hungry for some more transfer news, then 11 o'clock every weekday night, Monday to Friday, you can catch tomorrow's transfers today. And you've got all different people from Full Time Devils doing those, including myself and Makola and I know some other people as well. So make sure you check those out at 11 o'clock on this YouTube channel, and we'll see you in a bit.